Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the most must-see podcast here in the NJSSL. Welcome to The Cutting Redge. We are live here with one of the most infamous men in the history of NJSSL. He is a man who is looking to prove all of his doubters wrong. He is a man looking to prove that he is championship worthy, MVP worthy, amongst the top upper echelon of the NJSSL players. He is none other than Shazan Khan. Assalamu alaikum, Shazan. How are you, my friend?
Wa alaikum assalam, Reg. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to have a conversation. Looking forward to the season.
I'm excited for it too. Shazan, your name has been synonymous with the term, most hated man in NJSSL. And I just need to know, and part of that has a lot of that has been me egging people on to feel that way. So I just need to know in general, what are your thoughts just about that kind of, label on your person?
I think being the most hated person, I think the biggest thing is you got to look inwards. And I have to admit, I have my bouts of immaturity. I have my bouts of reacting. The biggest thing is when someone says something, they're looking for a reaction. I provide that reaction 99% of the time. So, I mean, a lot of the times I have nobody else to blame but myself. But look, at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to depend on my teammates. I'm gonna have to depend on myself to prove that label wrong. Like I could sit here and be like, "Hey, what about? Do you remember this highlight? Do you remember that highlight?" Nobody cares. At the end of the day, people are gonna show up to the week and see whether or not you're good, and people remember the bad more than the good. So
100%.
if I can stop throwing picks, as I'm known for, then then people will look towards our team and be like, "Yeah, they're a force." So.
I will say I'm already very impressed, Shazan. I was actually anticipating you to double down on the on how you don't deserve the hate, but it takes a real man to own up to his mistakes. And I'm very impressed that you actually went that route. So very nicely done. Here's my next question for you: how is this season's Shazan going to be different than the Shazan that we saw on the Giants or on the Jaguars?
How is it going to be different this season? I think the biggest thing is when you're a captain, you kind of look back at how you are as a person and try to deal with personalities that are, at the end of the day, there are people on the team that are better than me at many aspects of the sport. So if I'm the captain, I can't just go around and be like, hey, like you do this, you do, like someone's gonna look at you and be like, well, I'm better than you. What are you talking to me about, right? I think so. When I look back at like highlights and like videos of previous seasons, it's the same thing as point one. I was very reactionary. I was very quick to get pissed off. Excuse my language. I think one of the biggest memories I have, and this is such a small thing, like I threw a touchdown to Hamza, and instead of celebrating with the O line, I ran straight to Hamza. You know, and that kind of like I don't know why. I was just thinking. I was like, I should be high fiving like Mudnubai and all of them, like for protecting me, giving me a clean pocket. I threw an hour out, and it works out.
Yeah.
The first thing I do is I go run screaming to Hamza. That's 2 years ago. I'm looking back. I'm like cringing at the highlight, but it's like that those types of things, like you those types of things are reserved for the player. But I'm gonna have to try my best to stay level headed. So
One
yeah.
hundred percent. I mean, I think we're definitely already seeing some signs of maturing with time. So this could be
It's,
the
it's the
year where
mustache. It's the mustache. It's
that's all
little
it
by
is.
little.
Maybe that's what you need. I thought you had that mustache last year too.
I think it's a little bit thicker, a little bit.
There you
Inshallah.
go. There
Hopefully
you
the
go. You're getting
audience.
thicker in all the right places, my friend Jazon. So the next question I have for you is, how do you had a pretty decent draft. I'm just gonna kind of go through your team real quick. Obviously you picked Vali Mirza first, excellent first pick, defending champion. You followed that up with Yafa.
Mhm.
Then you went for the lineman with Shabib Bhai and Irtaza, Jack Irtaza. Then you
Yes.
went to the man you mentioned earlier who threw a touchdown to Hamza Abedi. Then you got the professor, a huge pick, a guy who is who play multiple positions. Then you got Mehdi Raza, who I think is new to
Hmm.
this year's football league.
Yeah.
So it's going
Yes.
to be interesting to see how he does. He's definitely somebody who can be dangerous. Faisal Ali, who is tall, skinny, kind of useless other than that, but that's okay. I think he'll be he's always a potential guy who could be solid. Ali Abbas Kareem, I don't remember if he was there last year, but he might have
No,
been.
he wasn't. He's also new,
He's
big
also
guy.
new.
He's more of a soccer player, so we just played soccer, and
Got it.
at one point you just got to take athletes, and the guy's a dog. He's an athlete, so.
All right. Well, let's see. We'll see what he has to offer this year. Then he went to AB Abbas Rusby, so another lineman there. Then you went both Hasnan and Hassan, which I think are Chubby Boy's kids, right? So
Mhm.
that's definitely a lot of potential there. And then you got Ali Akbar Jaffrey, Fardeen Mehdi, who I believe is a new name,
Yep.
Raza Rizvi Akbar, and Akbar Amjad Jaffrey.
Yep.
So kind of going top to bottom, how do you feel like this draft went? Was it what you were kind of anticipating you were going to draft?
I think the biggest thing is anticipating wise. I had a plan, protection, big names, big guys. We all already know what to say about Vali. We know what to say about like the big name guys. They're gonna come out and they're gonna be who they've always been.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the biggest names for me were specifically Professor. I think and this is a story for years on end. This guy people overlook and think, okay, yeah, I can get him later on. He's a good player. You got to grab talent when it's there. And I saw Professor, and I'm like, this guy has surefire hands. Like this guy is like, if you have nobody to depend on, he's there. And then another thing is AB Dr. Osby. I don't know how I got him at the line that late. That guy's a force. He's an immovable object, if that's a phrase. Like you know that better than anyone else, and
Sure.
how I'm able to get a person like that alongside all the men I already have. Like these are men. Like
You
these
do
are
have some men.
Shabby Bio. We have like these guys are gonna be. They don't even have to put in that much effort to like just keep that wall intact. So
100%. I
yeah.
was gonna say one of the things that I noticed, and I will say overall, definitely a very strong team, definitely well put together. One of the things that I noticed is that despite the team being strong, I think there is potential for implosion,
Mhm.
which is never what you want to have, right? Do you see yourself as somebody that's going to potentially scuffle with like a professor, or do you see like an AB and a Yafa potentially kind of getting
Mhm.
into like a little skirmish? Do you think the chemistry on the team is going to come together like a well-oiled machine, or do you think it's going to implode from the inside out?
In terms of implosion, I think the biggest thing you'll notice about, let's just use the three names that you used. Yafa is a big man, second round pick playing receiver. He's not going to butt heads or think he's better than AB at what AB does. AB knows that he's a blocker and he's right. And the same thing goes with who else did you mention real quick? You said Professor. I mean,
Professor,
Professor carries himself like I don't think Professor's anger is never in a implosion anger. This guy is a cool like he's a cool cat. He brings the vibe on your team to a point where like even I, for example, if I think I want to hold someone down, like Professor's a leader. He's a leader. Shabby Boy's a leader. Buddy's a leader. Right? These are the people that I wanted to surround myself by, so that even if it keeps me down, if I look at a person like Professor and he's getting angry, I don't care if I'm a captain or not. I'm gonna listen. Right? I'm gonna listen to the person speaking, and I think everyone's gonna really respect each other. Everyone's so talented at what they do. They're gonna
I
we're
am.
we're all
Yeah,
good at what we do. So
I think that's a great point. I think it's. I'm impressed that you think that. I will see what if everyone is able to play to that
that's the
idea.
thing. Like words mean at the end of the day, words mean
Yeah.
nothing. I could be saying this right now, and week 2 comes along, and I start freaking the hell out.
Yeah. Or five
That's on
minutes into the
me.
first game.
Or week 1. I think week 1 everyone's pretty performative, level headed. Week 2 is where it starts. Look, by all means, I could fall apart, but I don't envision that. I,
Okay.
I, I genuinely don't envision that, especially with the people we have surrounded by. Shelby White will grab me like a bowling ball
There you
if I go crazy.
go. And
So
he'll throw you down down the lane. That's for sure. What are your thoughts on your competition?
I think honestly speaking, genuinely speaking, and I think maybe you can agree or disagree. Based off of how the draft went, I think we're. I look at the other team and I find it hard to believe that I ended up with that many star players as compared to like there are weaknesses on other teams. If you guys want to say a weakness based off of the league wide consensus, let's say for example everyone wants to say like me being the quarterback is the weak link. Then I'm saying how many times in history, whether it be in the NFL or whether it be amateur leagues, where the team is so good that they uplift you, your skills, and your motivation to be a better person. Like, and honestly, what we talk a lot about the Jags. I think the biggest thing was after we were 0-4. Once we start getting into a role and started like putting our lives on the line for each other and just like enjoying winning. That's when everyone got uplifted. We made a run. We beat Shaw's team. We went to the playoffs. We were one catch away from beating Shaw's team, and that was that was one of the best feelings. I always look back very fondly with the Jags. So the Giants didn't really play that much. I wasn't here, but look, I'm gonna do my best, and I know I'm gonna be uplifted by my teammates. They're too good for me to sit around and let them down, because that's gonna be the biggest disappointment in the world to see that much talent, that much line talent at the very least, and throw an incompletion. Like I'm gonna have all the time in the world. Look at these guys; they're all 6'5" and above.
100%. No, 100%. Definitely a strong, definitely a solid line. Definitely a solid line. Definitely should be a solid team. The one thing I think that your team lacks, and I'm actually gonna do the next episode with Heather, doing like the draft review a little bit later tonight. But I was gonna say one thing I feel like your team lacks is like a reasonable bench. Compared
Hmm.
to some of the benches of the other teams. Do you care to comment on like kind of how you feel like your like second half of the draft players are going to be able to are they going to be able to keep the team alive, or are they going to allow for points to be scored on them easily?
I think I would need you to clarify a little bit. Like, what do you mean by the bench? Like,
So
what positions are we focusing on?
so let me just once again say out loud your second half of the draft here. So we have
Hmm.
Faisal Ali, Ali Abbas
Yeah,
Kareem, Abbas Rizvi, Hasnan Rizvi, Hassan Rizvi, Ali Akbar Jafri, Fardeen Mehdi, Raza
yeah.
Rizvi, and Akbar Amjad Jafri. So I will say
So let me point out a couple names that you wouldn't that would probably fly under the radar. Let's just take for
some of
example
those
Shelby
guys are
White's two
new. So
sons.
you're right.
So
That
that's what
might
I'm
that might
saying.
be under the radar.
Let's take Shelby White's two sons. Um, Hasnan was on the Jags and he was a formidable guy. He was younger. Now, if you look at him, this guy's he's got more facial hair than me and he's built. His other brother, he's 6 foot, 215 pounds. If, for example, Shelby White goes out and says, "I need a breather," his next of kin is coming in with all of his solid mass to protect me and my blind side.
Fair
Like, what
enough.
else do you want? Like, and Raza Rizvi as well. We know that we know him. I believe Heather's cousin.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a big
true.
dude.
A lot of big guys.
Protect,
A lot,
you
definitely a
know.
lot of big, strong
And
guys.
then yeah, and then you say, for example, Faisal, right? Faisal is known to be one of the best basketball players in the league. What's that argument between football players and basketball players? Can basketball players translate to football? Faisal, if you put him as a safety, put him in coverage, give him some motivation to be like, yeah, football, just care about football a little bit because I know he cares more about basketball. But at the end of the day, like he's gonna see the success of the team. He's been on winning teams. He was on the Eagles. Like this guy's gonna ball out.
I will
I'm
say, I mean, we do call
yeah.
him King Faisal in basketball, but the thing is, he's like Joker Faisal in football. So I
Yeah,
mean,
he's Joker, but I think he said something very and it touched my heart. He was like, you know what, for you, he's like, I don't really care about football, but for you, I'll play. I was like, I appreciate it, boss man.
that's fair. That's fair. Also, you guys' facial expressions spot on there, so that was really good. No, no, I trust in him, but we'll see what happens. We'll see, if they can, if let's see, we'll see how the team does. All right, fair enough. Who are you most excited to play this season?
I think I'm most excited to play. Obviously, you can name the main guys, but like Vali, you bring someone who's was
No,
the
no, no.
main
Sorry,
focal
sorry,
point.
sorry. What other team are you most excited to play this season?
I'm definitely most excited to play Shabur for sure. And that is solely because they're playing Taha. I'm gonna be playing Taha, and I just want to put it out on record. Shazan Khan is 2-0 against Taha. Taha has never beaten me in NJSSL history.
Fair,
So that
fair.
matchup, if I can do the three on Taha, that would be a great feeling. That's just a personal venture. Beyond that, I think a lot of people think that their team is pretty formidable when you have a surefire quarterback like Taha, where you don't have to worry about quarterback play. And then you have a player like Shubber, who I've played with in the past. I know he's good enough. I know you mentioned in the pod that he went down a little bit. He's still like a major athlete in our league. Um, those guys know what they're doing, and they also drafted Yasser and Zaharbay, and I know it's going to be feisty. That's just it's going to be a fun one. And my brother's on the team, so that's going to be even more feisty. So
There you
yeah,
go. A lot of fun aspects to that matchup. And what's
for
funny is
sure.
that he actually said the same thing to you, right? That yeah, he'd be most excited to play you.
Oh
So
wow.
that's double excitement there. I think that's going to be a crucial
I
game.
think we're gonna need a either a post or pregame pod specifically for that one.
Might have to do it. Might have to do it. All right, Shazan. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you for laying down your thoughts and reviewing your team and everything. Any final thoughts that you have before we start this season of NJSSL football?
Final thoughts. Just look out. The league should look out for our team. Our team is nasty. They're big dudes, and we're coming after the ring. This is not a joke. I think our team speaks for itself. I don't need to say anything. I just need to play my game. We all need to just be ourselves. Yafa needs to be the big man he is. Shabby White needs to be the big man he is. Buddy needs to be the MVP he is. We're gonna win the ring.
There you go. There you go.
I'm convinced.
There it is, folks. There you have it from the one, the only Shazan Khan. Shazan looking to make a name for himself, finally win his first championship in NJSSL football. We all have faith in him. The question is, will he be able to live up to it this year? Time will tell. Inshallah, join us for the next season. For the next episode of NJSSL Cutting Redge as well. It's going to be me and Heather Boss. We're going to review all 6 teams from the draft, and it's going to be a good one. Shazan, thank you for your time, my friend, and inshallah, we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Reg. Inshallah, I'll see you guys soon
Have a great night, buddy.
as well.